4 of Spanish Answers. So I don't remember if last time I had my wonderful Christmas mug out, but it is the season. So we are full on celebration. For those of you who are listening instead of watching on YouTube, I basically have this adorable Cocoa Cafe, like Santa Village-esque hot cocoa mug, and it makes me so happy. So it's been a while since I got it out, and it is time. So in honor of the Christmas season starting, one of my favorite times of year, I hope it is yours too. If not, well, hopefully you still enjoy it. But in honor of that season, we are going to talk today about Spanish Christmas songs. So let's go ahead and get started. So before I get started, I do want to point out I don't know much about many of these artists, although there are a few that I do, like Il Volo, because I love Il Volo, but I do like their songs for Christmas, or at least these songs. So I want to start off with one of my favorite Spanish canciones de la Navidad, or Spanish Christmas songs. It's called Mi Burrito de Belén, or also known as Mi Burrito Sabanero. So burrito is the diminutive of burro, so they're not saying burrito like the food, they're saying burrito, little donkey, and it's a little donkey from the savannah, sabanero, savannah donkey. And I really like the version by Juanes, so I've put that in the show notes. So in the show notes for this episode, we'll have all the YouTube links to each song and artist that I reference. I wasn't positive, again, I don't really know all the rules on how long I can post a video for each one, so I haven't included those in this episode. So you will have to do some research on your own, but that's half the fun of getting onto YouTube anyway, right? You find a whole bunch of rabbit trails, discover more artists that you love, and it's just a great adventure. Sometimes it's not so much, but most of the time, with Christmas songs at least, it is. So anyways, Mi Burrito de Belén, and it's basically a kid's song. It's got a little refrain where you go tuki 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 tuki, and it's great. My husband does not speak Spanish, but I love this song and I played it for him often, and so he can even sing that part of the song. It's fantastic. But with that being said, the song's just about taking your donkey and going to Bethlehem to see the newborn Christ. It's a really fun song to sing with little kids. Then we've got another song called Feliz Navidad / Mis Deseos. And I adore the version by Il Volo. They're my favorite Italian band, and they have the famous Belinda sing this song with them. So it's got Spanish, it's got English, all mixed together with a really great beat. Awesome song. And then, of course, we have Rodolfo, el Reno de la Nariz Roja, Rudolph the Red-Nosed Reindeer, Rodolfo, el Reno de la Nariz Roja. And I have posted a link to the version by Thalia, where she's basically surrounded by a whole bunch of kids, and it's kind of jazzy, it's got a really fun beat, and the children are adorable. Their singing sometimes is not the greatest, but they try so hard, and they try so hard to keep in rhythm, and it's just fun to watch them as they try and sway to the music, and they're not at the same time as each other, and it's just so adorable. But Thalia is great. You can really feel the energy from her as she sings, and it's a fun rendition. So check that one out. Next, we have Va a Nevar by Luis Miguel. So, Let It Snow, basically, the Spanish version. I enjoy this version. He's got a great voice. It's a little jazzy as well, but then again, the original song in English is kind of jazzy too. So, the next one is Santa Claus, Llego a la Ciudad by Emmanuel. So, Emmanuel's also got a great voice. He's got a kind of jazzy poppy version of this song. In fact, I'm starting to notice that a lot of these are kind of the more jazzy poppy version of the songs. I did not mean to do that, but they were just so upbeat, I guess I couldn't help it. Anyways, I tried to choose a wide variety of artists so that you get a better sampling of the different artists out there and their music and all of that and what their voices sound like, just so that you've got a place to start and you can decide, hey, I really like the sound of that artist, so I want to see other songs by them, etc. I know one of the hardest things for me when I first started trying to listen to Spanish music was I had no idea where to start, and I hope that this helps you actually have a good starting place. Okay, then there's another song that does take it down a notch, so it's not really jazzy or poppy, and it's a really pretty rendition of The Little Drummer Boy. So it's El Niño del Tambor. El Niño del Tambor. And it's by Ángela Aguilar. Beautiful voice. She has since grown up, obviously, so So she does sing a little bit differently now, but this rendition is really pretty. I also stumbled across another version by Coro Laus Deo that was also really great. If you like pentatonics, you'll probably like their version. It was beautiful. So I've also put that in the show note links. And then I would be remiss if I didn't include some songs, right, that were only from the Spanish world. So we did do Burrito de Belén, but there's also Los Peces en el Río. Los Peces en el Río. And this is a really odd song. I found this group Pandora, and I really like how they sound, and I like their rendition of the song, but it is a really weird song. It's basically talking about the Virgin Mary, and as I'm sure you know, the Virgin Mary is the mother of Jesus Christ, who, the whole point of the Christmas season is to celebrate his coming and his birth, because when he came, he basically was born to die for the sins of the world, right? And that's when we celebrate Easter. So a lot of Christmas songs focus around the birth of Jesus Christ. Well, this song is no different. Los peces en el río, the fish in the river. Literal translation, it's basically talking about the Virgin Mary and her daily actions in taking care of herself and the baby Jesus, and the fish in the nearby river doing what they can to watch. So, bit weird. I did find a really cool link that explains the origins of the song, which, we don't know a ton. But it also has the Spanish translation, the Spanish lyrics, the English translation, and then a singable version of English, because obviously a direct translation is not necessarily going to be what you would want to sing. That's why Noche de Paz has a different Spanish version than the English version. Anyways, we'll get to that in a second. But this website is great. It's got some grammar notes, vocab notes, all of it. So highly recommend that you visit that site to get a little bit more information on this really, really weird song. But it's got a great beat, and I love how Pandora sings it. Not gonna lie, I would love to teach my children that song. Alright, so moving on to Noche de Paz by Matisse. So if you want a country-esque, simple, but really beautiful rendition of Silent Night, I highly recommend this song by them. It's got vocals and mainly guitar, and like I said, pretty simple, but the voices are lovely, and it is one of the more simple renditions of all of the Christmas songs that I've posted links to. And I did mention that there is a difference between the English and the Spanish. So the Spanish version says Noche de Paz, Noche de Amor, right? So it's night of peace, night of love. And in English we say Silent Night, Holy Night. Very different renditions, but again, different translations for different languages. It's appropriate. If you ever want me to go into greater length about that and what that looks like and why things are translated differently, please let me know. Send me an email, because that's also one of my favorite topics. Well, maybe not favorite, but I do love talking about translations and why things are translated the way they are. In fact, I actually want to do my master's thesis on why Frozen's Let It Go was translated the way it was into all of the different languages. Unfortunately, that idea was shot down. But I would still like to research that at some point. Probably won't happen, but girl can dream. Anyways, moving on. There's a really lovely version of Santa la Noche by Majo y Dan. And I kind of stumbled across this group. Now, I really wanted to share a rendition of Oh Holy Night with you, because it is my all-time favorite Christmas song. So I absolutely had to find a version for this podcast. And like I said, I'd never heard of this group, but they seem really sweet. So I included their version here. I also included a link to Lily Goodman's rendition because I wanted a more classical rendition as well. Hers is almost there, not quite, but it does have the Spanish lyrics on the video as Lily sings, which is really helpful if you want to learn the Spanish lyrics. So I have included that. I also included Pentatonics and their English rendition of the song because I absolutely love their version of the song, and again, it's one of my favorite Christmas songs, and I just couldn't resist. Anyways, the other song that is also one of my favorites, probably a close second, is Mary Did You Know? Or Maria Sabías Que by Tercer Cielo. So another group that I just found that I really, really enjoy. And again, that's Maria Sabías Que, Mary Did You Know? And I love this rendition. I played it for my husband in the car one day. I don't make him listen to songs in Spanish often, but this one's really good. And he even picked out a few words that were different from the English version. Super proud. Anyways, that finalizes our Christmas list, our canciones de la Navidad. I really hope that you enjoyed this episode and that you enjoy finding and researching all of these songs. Again, I have put links in the show notes. I have included where I could the Spanish lyrics and the English translation. Sometimes a lot of the times I had to use a different version, but you'd still get the gist of the song. And please take the translations with a grain of salt, as I definitely did not go through them all for accuracy. So keep that in mind. If you have any questions or topics that you would like me to discuss, please send them to me at contact@languageanswers.com. That's contact@languageanswers.com. And if you enjoyed this episode and never want to miss another one, please subscribe. You can subscribe at YouTube, Spotify, Apple's Music, or Google Play. Or Transistor. Still trying to remember that new one. Anyways, you can subscribe there. Also, if you enjoyed this episode, please click like on YouTube or leave me a positive review on the other sites. This episode was brought to you by Language Answers Limited at www.languageanswers.com. I am a Spanish to English translator, podcaster, and editor. Thank you so much for listening. Alright, well, I hope you go onto YouTube and explore all of these songs, or use Spotify or Apple. I think they've got like a music thing as well, or Amazon Prime, any of those. But I hope you really do some research, because some of the Spanish songs that are out there are just so wonderful, and they really help you get in the festive spirit. Just like listening to Christmas carols the day after Thanksgiving. Not before, but just like listening to Christmas carols the day after Thanksgiving really gets you all festive and, I don't know, adds some magic to the air. But I hope you've enjoyed this episode. I hope it brings you some Christmas spirit. And I will talk to you in 2 weeks. Until then, hasta luego!